2025 just keeps on surprising us with the announcements of massive new open world RPGs to dive into this year. This list will have updates on a few that you've heard of and brand new info on tons that you haven't. So let's dive in. First up is Mind's Eye, a single-player, narrative-driven action-adventure thriller crashing on a PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on June 10th, 2025. Set in the sun-scorched, neon-drenched desert city of Red Rock, a high-tech sandbox where even cacti have Wi-Fi, you play as Jacob Diaz, a grizzled ex-soldier with a fancy brain chip called Mind's Eye that's turning his memories into a scrambled sci-fi omelet. Your mission? Unravel a juicy conspiracy involving AI shenanigans, corporate fat cats, and a mayor named Shiva Vega. Expect a 15-hour cinematic roller coaster packed with Michael Bay's cutscenes, high-speed car chases, and third-person combat. You've got a trusty drone sidekick for zapping baddies, plus tactical fights and environmental chaos like blowing up gas stations. It's got Grand Theft Auto 5's vibe with explosive action and a crime-soaked city, but Mind's Eye trades GTA's steal a jet and cause mayhem sandbox for a linear story that keeps you on a leash, like a GTA mission where Trevor's therapist actually shows up. It's similar to Cyberpunk 2077, but with fewer Keanu Reeves cameos, sadly. While its deep dive into AI and corporate greed will remind you of Deus Ex. Interestingly, it's going to be tied to the Everywhere platform's Arcadia tools in order to let you build your own content like Roblox or Fortnite's creative mode. Despite some preview gripes about janky driving, this love letter to GTA and Cyberpunk fans is poised to either be a mind-blowing hit or a hilarious crash and burn. So buckle up. Next up, we've got CLOUDHEIM, a co-op action RPG from Noodlecat Games, arriving in Q3 of 2025 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S, and the sponsor of today's video. Set in a Norse-inspired world post-Ragnarok, you and up to 3 pals play as divinely chosen heroes tasked with stitching a shattered realm back together. Your base? A flying turtle fortress called Odin Shell. The game's all about physics-based combat. Think yeeting pillars onto goblins, lassoing baddies into tornadoes, or launching exploding barrels. Craft weapons and gear on the fly without having to dive deep into pesky menus and explore vibrant islands and dungeons packed with secrets. You can play solo or you can play with your friends and share the loot like the generous god that you are. Players have real agency when crafting. They can experiment with items and discover tons of combinations that can then change the enemies and the environments they encounter in game. With an art style reminiscent of Breath of the Wild, CLOUDHEIM's got that colorful, exploratory vibe. Its physics-driven combat adds some welcome fast-paced action to the usually slower-paced open-world survival game combat. Like Valheim, it's got Norse mythology and crafting, but CLOUDHEIM swaps Viking survival grind for flashier Diablo-esque action, with a side of base building. Meanwhile, the real-time crafting and co-op focus mimic Monster Hunter World's teamwork-oriented encounters. So grab your friends and your flying turtle and get ready to save the world. If this sounds fun, be sure to use the link in the description to wishlist CLOUDHEIM on Steam right now. Next up, we have Atomic Heart 2, coming to PC and console. This sequel to Atomic Heart is going to focus on providing deeper RPG elements and giving players more freedom than its predecessor. Developed in Unreal Engine 5, you can expect the retro-futuristic universe that this game takes place in to be visually stunning. The developers are aiming to raise the bar on what an open-world action RPG can do. This game kind of feels like if Cyberpunk and Fallout 4 got together and made a baby, and that baby loved attractive robots. We can see the players parachuting onto a beach, firing interesting guns, and piloting both ground vehicles and planes. And using the Force? With a unique art style and a vibe that oozes fun, this entry looks like it's going to create a lot of commotion when it arrives. Next up, we've got Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening is an open-world survival MMO from Funcom, crash landing on PC on June 10th, 2025, with a 5-day early access head start for those people buying the deluxe edition. Sadly, console players are going to have to wait for this one like Fremen for Rain. Set on Arrakis in a spicy alternate timeline where Paul Atreides was never born, sorry Timothée Chalamet fans, the Fremen are AWOL, and House Atreides dukes it out with the Harkonnen over the galaxy's favorite psychedelic, spice. You're a Bene Gesserit agent tasked with sniffing out the mystery of the nowhere-to-be-found Fremen while dodging sandworms that think your footsteps are a dinner bell. Gameplay's a wild mix: scavenge for water, craft ornithopters, build bases, and fight with melee, guns, or the voice. Yes, you can sass your enemies to death. Weekly Coriolis storms shake up the map like a cosmic etch-a-sketch, keeping exploration fresh, while guild politics and optional PvP in the deep desert add that player-to-player drama. Beta testers loved the survival vibe, but grumbled about MMO clunkiness, so fingers crossed Funcom is able to get that polish on. Compared to Conan Exiles, also by Funcom, Dune shares base building and survival grit, but swaps sweaty barbarians for sandworm-dodging spice fiends. Think Conan with less loincloth and more sci-fi. It's got Rust's high-stakes scavenging and PvP tension, but with a persistent world, so you're not rebuilding your primary sandcastle every week. The spice addiction mechanic, where overindulging tweaks abilities and your health, so strap on your still suit, pray you don't get sand in your unmentionables, and get ready to rule Arrakis. Or at least avoid becoming a sandworm's mid-afternoon snack. Next up, we've got Ghost of YOTEI, an action-adventure epic from Sucker Punch Productions, slicing onto the PS5 on October 2nd, 2025, with a PC port likely trailing behind like a Ronin who overslept. Set in 1603 Izo, now Hokkaido, 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima, you play as Atsu, a female warrior with a vendetta sharper than her dual katanas. After the YOTEI 6, a gang of outlaws named Snake, Oni, and other edgy codenames torched her family and left her pinned to a burning ginkgo tree, Atsu's back for revenge, funding her kill list adventures by completing bounties and odd jobs. Expect a lush open world around Mount YOTEI with snowy tundras, grasslands, and a wolf buddy who's probably better at combat than my last co-op teammate. New weapons like the Odachi, dual katanas, and a lot of other weapons I can't pronounce. Join upgraded stealth, parkour, and horseback traversal, all with deeper player choice for a 20 to 30 hour tale of underdog vengeance. This entry features a dynamic world to fix Tsushima's repetitive side quests and might remind you of The Witcher's storytelling, but with a samurai flair. YOTEI's personal stakes feel more Red Dead Redemption 2 than Assassin's Creed's grand conspiracies. So saddle up and get ready to hand out some sweet revenge. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, share some love, give it a like, and perhaps leave a comment about which game you're looking forward to. It helps a lot, and thanks a ton in advance. Next up, we've got CHRONO ODYSSEY, an open-world action MMORPG from Kakao Games set to storm PC, PS5, and Xbox in Q4 2025. Set in the fantasy world of Cetera, you're a time-bending hero wielding the Chronotector, a fancy stopwatch that lets you freeze your enemies or rewind your oopsies, like when you accidentally yeet yourself onto a dragon's lunch tray. This sprawling Unreal Engine 5 powered world is packed with biomes, grasslands, swamps, snowy peaks, and a war against the void, a cosmic baddie that's been cranky since time began. Choose from 6 different classes such as Swordsman, Ranger, Sorcerer, Paladin, Berserker, and Assassin, and swap weapons in real time and dive into PvE dungeons, massive raids against bosses, or PvP if you're feeling extra spicy. Craft gear, harvest resources, and customize your character to look like a medieval influencer, all while exploring a seamless map that shifts with dynamic weather and time-traveling shenanigans. Compared to Black Desert Online, CHRONO ODYSSEY flaunts similar eye-candy visuals, but dials back the grind for less sell your soul for a shiny sword vibe, focusing on time-twisty combat that's more Dark Souls than BDO's button-mashing frenzy. Unlike Lost Ark's pay-to-win traps, it's buy-to-play, so you may not need to mortgage your house for a sparkly mountain this time around, but time will tell. So grab your Chronotector, pray you don't get stuck in a time loop doing dishes, and get ready to save Cetera, or at least look fabulous while you try. Next up, we've got Borderlands 4, a first-person looter shooter from Gearbox Software exploding onto the scene on September 12th, 2025, on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and eventually Nintendo Switch 2. Set on Kairos, a shiny new planet unveiled after Pandora's moon Elpis smashed into its cloaking shield, you play one of 4 Vault Hunters, like Vex the Siren, who summons minions, or Rafa, an exo-soldier. Your mission? Topple the Timekeeper, a dictator so extra he makes Handsome Jack look like a chill barista. Expect a seamless world with no loading screens, dynamic weather, and new moves like double jumping, gliding, and grappling, because why walk when you can Spider-Man your way to loot? With billions of gun combinations, a licensed part system for mixing manufacturers' perks, imagine a Jacob's rifle with a Hyperion shield, you've got deeper skill trees, 4-player online or 2-player split-screen co-op, it's chaos dialed to 11. Gearbox promises less toilet humor and a darker tone, so maybe we'll be crying over our loot instead of giggling, but I doubt it. Its seamless zones and traversal abilities scream Anthem's jetpack joyride, minus the where's the endgame blues. Its cel-shaded art will feel familiar to longtime Borderlands fans, and the loot chase echoes Diablo 4's gear grind. So grab your Digirunner, dodge the Timekeeper's goons, and pray your loot doesn't include your girlfriend's boyfriend's underwear, because Kairos is about to get messier than a Claptrap family reunion. Next up, we've got Crimson Desert, an open-world action-adventure RPG from Pearl Abyss, storming on a PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and macOS in late 2025. Set on a war-torn continent of Pywell, you play as Cliff, a grizzled mercenary captain of the Greymanes, juggling leadership woes and PTSD flashbacks while trying to save the world from a vague, catastrophic threat. Think of it as Game of Thrones if Jon Snow traded brooding for dropkicks. The 50 to 80 hour single-player campaign is packed with visceral hack-and-slash combat where you can Sparta-kick enemies off cliffs, climb giant bosses like a medieval Spider-Man, or ride dragons, because horses are so last century. Expect dynamic weather, destructible environments, and side gigs like fishing, arm wrestling, and petting dogs. A GTA Online-style multiplayer mode with microtransactions drops post-launch, so prepare to dodge both ogres and $50 skin packs. Like a lot of RPGs, Crimson Desert shares a rich, choice-driven story and sprawling world, but its combat is flashier, more akin to something you'd see in Devil May Cry. It's got Dragon's Dogma 2's epic boss battles and climbing mechanics, but swap that dark fantasy for Pywell's Norse-inspired chaos. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's got parkour and open-world freedom, but with less row your boat to Athens slog and more I just suplex to troll energy. The game's engine includes some interesting and random details like wet horses drying realistically over time, so grab your sword, pray your combos don't crash the game, and get ready to save Pywell. Next up, we've got BITCRAFT Online, a sandbox survival MMORPG hitting Steam Early Access on June 20th, 2025 for PC, with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions trailing behind. Set in a single, massive, procedurally generated world called Starfell, you wake up as a mystical being in a wilderness. Your job? Survive, craft, farm, hunt, and build everything from cozy shacks to sprawling empires, all while mastering 12 skills like fishing or mining, because who doesn't want to be the world's best virtual lumberjack? The game's all about player-driven choices with no fixed classes, letting you level up by doing what you love, whether it's trading rare hexite crystals or chatting up NPCs for lore juicier than medieval gossip. It supports thousands of players in one uncharted world with co-op town building and a social vibe, plus their Spacetime DB tech is going to try and ensure your sandcastle stays put. It's going to be free to play at full release, but early access is going to cost you $30, so don't spend all of your gold on cosmetic capes just yet. Compared to Minecraft, BITCRAFT's got that sandbox build 'em up spirit, but it's less punch a tree and get a house and more collaborate with thousands of strangers to build Camelot. Like Valheim, it's got survival and crafting, but BITCRAFT's single world scale aims to make Valheim's Viking servers feel small. Next up, we've got ALKAHEST, a first-person action-adventure RPG conjured up for a 2025 release on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S, although this one might get pushed back. Set in the gritty medieval kingdom of Cadanor, you're the youngest son of a no-name lord, not exactly knight in shining armor material, tasked with sniffing out weird goblin raids to make a name for yourself. Think of it as a medieval job interview with more blood and fewer resumes. The game's all about slick melee combat, where you can drop trees on enemies, kick them off cliffs, or set them ablaze. Instead of magic, you'll brew alchemical potions, oils, or bombs with unpredictable results, like accidentally turning your sword into a sparkler or your foe into a crispy critter. Its semi-open world aims to offer quality over bloat with stealth, exploration, and choices that matter, all running on Unity. The trailer's got fans hyped but skeptical, as it's more choreographed spectacle than raw gameplay. So here's hoping this is not the day before 2.0. Compared to the Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, ALKAHEST is its spiritual heir with the same kick the bad guys into spikes energy, but with a shinier alchemy system that'd make Walter White jealous. Its stealthy freedom and multipath mayhem let you sneak or go full berserker. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's got a grounded medieval vibe, but swaps historical accuracy for fantasy flair and less I forgot how to parry frustration. The alchemy system hopes to be The Witcher 3's potion crafting on steroids, where one wrong mix might make you glow like a medieval disco ball. So grab your rope, it's a weapon, trust me, pray your potions don't explode in your face, and get ready to prove you're more than a Lord's spare kid. Next up, we've got Hell Is Us. Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game hitting PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S on September 4th, 2025, with the deluxe edition giving you early access on September 1st. I guess paying extra money to play the game on the real launch date is permanently part of gaming now. It's not this game's fault, but it's a bummer to see this unfortunate AAA philosophy spread its way down to some of these smaller studios. Set in the war-torn semi-open world of YOTEI, you play as Remy, a UN peacekeeper gone rogue, hunting for his parents after a calamity spawns creepy hollow-walkers that laugh at modern guns. Armed with a sword, spear, and axe from ye olden days, and a sassy drone buddy, voiced by Deus Ex's Adam Jensen, you'll hack through chimeras while managing health and stamina because nothing says modern-day RPG hero like passing out from a sprint. The game features what it's calling player plattering, where it ditches maps, compasses, and quest markers, and instead using NPC chatter and environmental clues to find your way around. It's a 10 to 15 hour thrill ride of melee carnage and mystery inspired by Annihilation's weird vibes, but some beta testers have griped about the clunky controls, so let's hope they polish that up. Compared to Death Stranding, Hell Is Us aims to have that eerie sci-fi aesthetic and figured-out exploration, but swaps Kojima's package delivery for slicing monsters like a medieval FedEx ninja. Next up, we have Light No Fire. Light No Fire is an open-world survival RPG from Hello Games, the No Man's Sky folks, aiming to crash land on PC in 2025, with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions likely but not confirmed, because apparently they're still trying to decide if consoles can handle these dragon rides. Set on a procedurally generated fantasy planet as big as Earth, it's a multiplayer sandbox where you explore, build, and survive among dragons, bipedal rabbits, and skeletons that look like they flunked necromancy school. You'll sail oceans, climb mountains, and tame beasts, all while crafting persistent villages or going lone wolf. The game blends RPG depth and survival freedom, promising a shared narrative where you're not the chosen one, just a schmuck trying to not get eaten by a chunky dragon. No firm story details yet. It's got Minecraft's build anything spirit, but with a single seamless world so big you'll need a dragon Uber to get around. So grab your virtual pickaxe, pray you don't build your dream castle on a dragon's nap spot, and get ready to explore. Next up, we've got EXOBORNE, a tactical open world extraction shooter slated for late 2025 or early 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Set in a post-apocalyptic US trashed by ultra-chaotic weather, you play as a reborn survivor, rocking customizable exo rigs. Think Iron Man suits with grappling hooks and gliders that let you zip around like a caffeinated squirrel. In Colton County, you scavenge, craft, and fight AI factions, rival players, and Mother Nature's tantrums, such as tornadoes, firestorms, and lightning. In high-stakes PvPvE sessions, loot's the name of the game, but die and it's gone because this is an extraction shooter. The evolving story follows the reborn rebellion against the shady Rebirth Corp, with dynamic weather shaking up every match, with the goal of no two runs feeling the same. They're saying that it's going to be a premium title, so not free to play, with solo, duo, and trio modes, though beta testers griped about the meh loot rewards. Compared to Escape from Tarkov, EXOBORNE's got the same lose your loot, cry real tears extraction loop, but dials down the hardcore military sim for Apex Legends style zippy movement. Its weather system and exo rigs echo the Division's tactical flair, no surprise with X-Division devs on board. So strap on your exo rig, pray you don't get zapped by a lightning or looted by a 12-year-old pro, and dive into Colton County, where the weather's worse than my high school dating life. Next up, we've got OUTERWORLDS 2, an upcoming first-person action RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios, set for release in late 2025 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S, with a day one launch on Xbox Game Pass. Set in the Arcadia star system, a new corporate colonized region, you play as an Earth Directorate agent tasked with investigating devastating rifts threatening the colony amid a factional war between ruling protectorate and rebels. Game features a larger, more expansive world than its 2019 predecessor, with denser open zones, enhanced stealth mechanics, parkour, and a revamped flaw system offering unique trade-offs. This game is going to emphasize player choice through dialogue trees, companion interactions, and branching story paths, with improved combat, including melee and firearms, and a humorous, satirical tone, of course. Compared to Fallout New Vegas, also by Obsidian, The Outer Worlds 2 shares deep RPG systems and choice-driven narratives, but trades the post-apocalyptic Earth for a vibrant sci-fi setting with influence from Fallout's DNA noted by the developers. Its open zones and exploration resemble Starfield's spacefaring RPG, but aim for denser, handcrafted areas to avoid Starfield's criticized emptiness. Like Mass Effect, it features companion-driven stories and faction conflicts, but leans into a Borderlands-type quirky humor and colorful visuals. The game's scale and polish aim to surpass the original's limitations, promising a richer, more dynamic sci-fi adventure than the previous title. Next up, we have Dying Light: The Beast, a standalone action horror survival game shambling onto the PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S in the summer of 2025. Set in the creepy backwoods of Castor Woods, 13 years after Dying Light, you're back as Kyle Crane, the parkour-loving zombie slayer who's now a science experiment gone wrong. After the barren, mad scientist who turns Crane into a half-zombie beefcake, he breaks free with quote-unquote beast mode. Think Hulk smash meets tossing cars like frisbees. Crane's on a 20-hour revenge quest in a linear story bridging Dying Light and Dying Light 2. Expect open-world parkour, melee combat, scarce guns, drivable vehicles, and a day-night cycle where nighttime zombies will make you wish you stayed in bed. You can play this with up to 4 other players, and compared to Dying Light 2, The Beast is less choose your own adventure and more choose how to panic. Like Dead Space's spooky corridors, but with fewer jump scares and more cardio. So good luck trying to survive in this one. Next up, we've got Terminator Survivor, an open world survival game hitting Steam Early Access in 2025 for PC with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions to follow. Set in 2009, 4 years after Skynet's Judgment Day turned the world into a post-apocalyptic scrapyard, you play as a customizable survivor dodging the relentless T-800 and other Skynet machines, plus rival factions who'd rather steal your canned beans than share. It's a gritty fight to scavenge resources, craft gear, and build a base to keep humanity from becoming robot chow. The game, running on Unreal Engine 5, offers solo or up to 4-player co-op, with stealth often being smarter than going Rambo, as the T-800 is basically a metal bully who never skips leg day. You'll meet iconic Terminator characters and uncover a new story about Judgment Day's fallout, all while running from the machines that will make you look at your Roomba like it's a war criminal. Originally planned for October 2024, it's delayed to 2025 for extra polish. And to be honest, that's probably a good thing. Terminator Survivors shares a post-apocalyptic I hate the word apocalyptic, dude. Holy. Terminator Survivors shares a post-apocalyptic vibe and base building with Fallout, but swaps mutant raiders for T-800s who love to terminate you. It's got DayZ's intense survival and scavenging, but with Skynet bots chasing you instead of just zombies. Imagine DayZ if the undead had all the intelligence of AI today. Unlike Terminator Resistance's linear FPS action, this leans into Rust's open-world survival chaos, though with less trust no one PvP and more trust no robot dread. So grab your duct tape shotgun, pray your base doesn't get a surprise visit from Arnold's angrier cousin, and get ready to survive. Next up, OTHERSKIN, a sci-fi third-person shooter blasting on a PC on June 29th, 2025, with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions likely releasing later. You play as Alex, the 13th lucky space crusader on a suicide mission to planet Vandermeer, home of the extinct Magnus species and ground zero for the corruption, a cosmic goo threatening to turn the universe into a bad sci-fi flick. Armed with a high-tech AI suit, Alex absorbs organic abilities from enemies, morphing into a shape-shifting badass who can sprout tentacles or wings faster than you can say intergalactic identity crisis. Expect fast-paced shooting, slick movement like wall running and grappling, and a 10 to 12 hour solo campaign where every enemy encounter tweaks your abilities, making you feel like a Swiss Army knife with a vendetta. It's all wrapped into a retro PS3 jank charm that's got fans buzzing, though some are worried that it might be getting overhyped. Compared to Returnal, OTHERSKIN shares a lone hero versus alien planet vibe, but swaps roguelike loops for a linear story and organic power-ups. So you're gonna be less time loop Celine and more I ate the bad guy and now my jetpack. So grab your glowy space gun, channel your inner alien smoothie blender, and get ready to explore the planet of Vandermeer. Next up, we have Star Wars Zero Company, a single-player, turn-based tactics game from BitReactor with Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilms. It looks like this one realistically won't be launching until 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S because apparently the Force needs a strategy meeting. Set in the twilight of the Clone Wars, you play as Hawks, a former Republic officer leading Zero Company, a ragtag squad of mercenaries, astromechs, and a Jedi who probably flunked lightsaber class. Your mission? Stop a galaxy-eating threat while herding this motley crew of galactic misfits through covert ops. Expect tactical combat with permadeath for the brave, base building between missions, and an informant network to snoop on enemies. The story's gritty with player choices shaping outcomes and squad bonds unlocking combat synergies, like convincing your droid to stop sulking and zap something. Similar to XCOM Enemy Unknown, Zero Company shares turn-based squad tactics and high-stakes decisions, but swaps aliens for clone troopers and adds Star Wars blasters because you don't need UFOs when you've got TIE fighters. So grab your lightsaber and get ready to outsmart Skynet's distant cousins in a galaxy far, far away. Next up, we've got EVERWIND, an open-world survival RPG hitting Steam Early Access in the first half of 2026 for PC, with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions to follow. Formerly Skyverse, rebranded due to a trademark tussle, it drops you into a voxel-based fantasy world of floating islands, where you're an airship captain crafting, looting, and brawling your way through procedurally generated skies. Build a flying island ship from a rickety platform into a sky fortress. Gather resources and fight enemies with swords, shields, or magical staves. With full co-op for up to 4 players, more planned later, you can explore solo or with buddies, customize your character's face to avoid looking like a default NPC, and use a magical compass to teleport home when you're about to become Dino Chow. Compared to Minecraft, EverWind's blocky aesthetic and crafting vibe are gonna feel familiar. It's got Valheim's co-op survival heart, but swaps Viking longships for airships that make Captain Jack Sparrow jealous. Like No Man's Sky, it offers procedurally generated exploration, but sticks to a fantasy world. So grab your magical compass, pray your airship doesn't crash like a teenager on an e-bike, and get ready to sail the skies. Next up, we have Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN, a standalone co-op action RPG from Software, arriving on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X and S on May 29th, 2025. Set in Limveld, a procedurally generated remix of Elden Ring's Limgrave, you and 2 buddies, or you as a solo player, play as one of 8 Nightfarers, like Wilder, the all-arounder, or Duchess, who dodges faster than me avoiding family reunions. Each 30 to 45 minute run spans 3 in-game days, where you loot, level up, and fight randomized bosses, culminating in a Night Lord showdown, like Tricephalos, a Cerberus wannabe who'd eat your soul and your snacks. A battle royale-style Knight's Tide shrinks the map, forcing you to hustle, while parkour moves, snowfall damage, and a spectral hawk for gliding make you feel like a ninja who forgot their horse, because you did. You did forget your horse. Rest in peace, Torrent. It's all PvE, no PvP, with relics for persistent buffs, but no crossplay and no duo support. So sorry to your best friend, it's trios or it's solo. Compared to Elden Ring, NIGHTREIGN's a turbocharged mod, like someone cranked the speed up to 150% and tossed in Hades' roguelike runs for a quick, replayable chaos. Its shrinking map's definitely going to remind you of Fortnite Storm, but swap battle buses for magic birds. Similar to Monster Hunter World, you're going to prep for those big boss hunts, but NIGHTREIGN's randomized Limveld hopes to keep it fresher than Reddit mod's underpants. So grab your squad, pray you don't get stuck with a whip that nobody wants, and get ready to outrun the Night's Tide. Next up, we've got Exodus, a sci-fi action-adventure RPG set to blast off in 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. You play as June Aslan, a traveler zooming through the Centauri cluster at near light speed, stealing fancy alien tech from the Celestials. Think intergalactic kleptomaniacs with a grudge. The kicker? Time dilation means your quick space jaunt equals decades back home. So while you're out joyriding, your dog's great-grandpups are running the show. Expect a branching narrative with choices that ripple across generations, third-person shooting, stealthy sneaking, and companion banter, all starring Matthew McConaughey as a gravelly mentor who probably narrates your dreams in that dreamy drawl of his. You'll explore alien ruins, dodge freaky Maruyama flesh spaceships, and maybe befriend a space bear. The game's lore ties to a Prime Video secret secret level episode, and a Peter F. Hamilton novel. Exodus is like Mass Effect's edgier cousin who read Interstellar's script and thought, hold my space beer. Unlike Starfield's sprawling but sometimes empty cosmos, Exodus aims for a tighter, story-driven romp with less Fetch 47 Space Rock's busywork. The open world hints and alien cultures echo No Man's Sky, but with less procedural monotony and more oops, I aged out my entire family drama. Which one of these is on your must-play list? Let me know down in the comments below. And thanks a ton for watching. Massive shout out to my YouTube channel members. Become a member for behind-the-scenes footage, access to a private Discord channel, and more. Sincerely, thanks a ton for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. If you're not sure what to do next, maybe check out one of the videos popping up on screen right now.